Moneyball and Sabermetrics have been a massive part of football for about a decade. Teams in almost every league try to use them, but it's something that's actually really hard to get right. Moneyball saves are some of the most common saves on Football Manager, but are they actually possible to do in career mode on FC25? I mean, sure, in career mode there is a lack of stats like a defender's headers won percentage or a striker's XG underperformance, but maybe with playstyles and the new tactic system we can actually create something that looks a little bit more like Moneyball. Today I'll be showing you exactly how easy it is to use and how it really can make your save a lot more fun. So, just in case you're not sure what Moneyball actually is, let's quickly run through the very basics. It's a concept that originated in baseball, but quickly spread across to Europe and found its way into football. Liverpool were one of the first teams to use it, and they actually hired Jurgen Klopp based on his underlying stats that proved that this could work in Europe. They did the same thing, finding Arne Slot, and look how good that's been working this year. I think the best way to show how Moneyball can work is to spend the first 2 months of a season together and see if we can maybe rebuild Everton in the Moneyball style. Because Everton already use Moneyball in real life, their tactic is already kind of suited to the players they have, so we're going to use a totally different tactic. Tactics are actually really important for Moneyball. If you change the way you play, the striker that wins every header might not be as good in a counter-attacking tactic. Your ball-playing centre-back might not suit the low-deep block tactic if you go to something like Catenaccio. Before you start using Moneyball, it's actually super important to figure out how you want to play. If you've been struggling with tactics, you could check out the tactic database I made for FC25. I've been updating the database with some of the most iconic tactics, and I'll include some good ones for Everton after I finish this video. I've actually just updated the way it looks, and thanks to share codes, you can just enter one of these inside career mode and have an instantly fun tactic. Even if you're not interested in playing as someone like Everton, maybe you'd enjoy playing as 2022 Pep Guardiola or 1999 Alex Ferguson. I've tried to include as many iconic tactics as I can, and I'm constantly adding more, and you can add some more if you want to help me out. This video isn't sponsored or anything, but I just thought you'd be interested to know this if you are struggling with tactics. Anyway, let's get back to talking about Moneyball. Just for this Everton example, I'm going to go with this Jose tactic. I think it's a fun, if unrealistic idea that Jose returns to the Premier League and takes over a struggling Sean Dyche side. So the tactic we're going to use has been entered into career mode, and it's as close as I can get to the Jose Mourinho 2011 tactic that Real Madrid were using. This tactic is all about quick counter-attacking, fast passing, and pressing quite high up the pitch, so that's actually quite easy to do Moneyball with. Moneyball is all about finding underrated players who might not be popular, but have the ability to play way above their overalls, maybe because they've got interesting distributions of how their attributes are laid out. It's not only the attributes you should be looking at as well, but in the past work rates were quite important, and this year body types and age are also very important for the Moneyball algorithm. For our tactic, we need strong and fast wingers who can also win headers. In the original tactic, Ronaldo and Di Maria were the original wingers, and I think Baris Yilmaz and Andreas Skov Olsen fit in perfectly. They're both tall, rapid and skillful, and they were actually quite easy to find using the scouting tools. We just looked in some of the smaller leagues, in this case Belgium and Turkey, for wingers who had physical playstyles, and then just had a quick look through and found two of the tallest ones. They might not be as good as Vinicius and Saka overall, but because we're going to do a lot of long diagonal balls from fullback to winger, these guys will probably win us more points than actually having Vinicius and Saka in the team. It's all about winning as many points as possible from the smallest amount of net spend. So that's two of our players sorted. Do we have any players in the squad that we don't actually need to sign? This is another way to use Moneyball. You can adapt your tactics to the players you already have. Well, Pickford is a Casillas type keeper. He's not too tall, but pretty good with his feet and can do the sweeper keeper role. We can skip signing a goalkeeper for now, and I think Branthwaite can probably be our Ramos because he's tall and aggressive and can also pass. Next to Branthwaite, we have Tarkowski, who's really good at winning the ball and can also win a ton of headers, exactly how Pepe liked to play. So you can see we've already got our goalkeeper, two wingers and two centre-backs sorted, and we've only signed two very cheap players. Hopefully you can see what we're doing here. We're taking players who are quite limited in certain areas and putting them in roles that they suit, even if they're not world class at them. Our next signing probably needs to be the best example of this. They're going to be our Marcelo, who's going to spend more time at left wing than at left back. So this needs to be someone who will create chances when Yilmaz or Skov Olsen could inside from the wing. Jan Niklas Beste is the exact player we need. He can defend a little bit, but he is absolutely amazing in the final third. He's got 88 crossing, he's got good pace, lots of stamina so he can get up and down the pitch. He might not be the highest rated left back in the game, but I think he's the best possible fit for what we need in this left back position. We also got very lucky because after we signed him, we found out he's a free kick and corner specialist as well. This will give us about 10 more points throughout the season, with Tarkowski and Branthwaite both being really good in the air. It's extra points for no extra cost. He is absolutely ideal for Moneyball. Okay, so that's the end of our Everton example. Hopefully you can see what we were doing, and now you know about Moneyball and how to use it. But why should you use it in your FIFA save? Well, it's all about creating a new experience inside FIFA. With Moneyball, you can build a squad that is unique and perfectly tailored to the tactic and your playstyle. And it's actually quite fun to put effort in off the pitch that will also make the gameplay feel better on the pitch. Let's be honest, there's only so many times you can sign the entire Mexican national team as free agents. Maybe for your next save, Harry Maguire is the right man to lead your Barcelona team to glory. I love the idea behind picking a team of misfits that have been ignored by big clubs and turning them into something worthwhile. My own club, Nottingham Forest, are successfully doing this season. Elanga and Hudson-Odoi were both very cheap pickups from bigger clubs in the Premier League, but also happen to be two of the best counter-attacking footballers in the league. They combined, and now Forest are one of the best counter-attacking teams in the league. Hopefully I've introduced Moneyball in an easy to understand way, but if you have any questions at all, head over to the Discord that's linked in the description and tag me in your questions. I'll try and answer as many as I can for the next couple of weeks. So let's round off this video by looking at some of the teams that have already embraced the Moneyball approach. You might not have realised that clubs like Porto and Liverpool have only been successful really because of Sabermetrics and Moneyball. I remember lots of people laughing at Liverpool when they signed a Hull City left back, but Andrew Robertson's turned out to be elite left back for almost a full decade, and they spent less than £10 million. Of course, it's also a game changer for clubs with less financial resources, and it allows small teams to punch above their weight and compete with giants in the footballing world. I think the best example of this is the Danish club Nordsjælland, who regularly search Africa and use analytics there to try and find the best young African players. Atlanta United built an MLS winning side thanks to their data science division, and even Bolton Wanderers successfully tried Moneyball in League 2, which helped them get back to the third tier a couple of years ago. If you want to give this a go, I would recommend a team that isn't quite elite, but does have some good players and a decent amount of money to spend for their level. I think some of the smaller teams in the Premier League, like Everton, Forest and Southampton, or the Bundesliga or La Liga, they're probably the best saves for a Moneyball career. And if you want a really hard challenge, why not see how lowly you can create a title-winning team in one of these leagues? I think with the right players, a 74 rated team could be good enough to win the Premier League or Bundesliga, but I'm sure you could probably go even lower if you're even better than me at scouting. Hopefully you enjoyed this semi-deep dive into how Moneyball can work in FC25, and hopefully this will give you some encouragement to try a save like this for yourself. Even if you don't go super hardcore with the Moneyball system, you can still have a really fun save by using small parts of it here and there. But thank you for watching. Really do appreciate it if you made it this far. I'll see you soon. Cheers and goodbye.